In the private lounge, Chloe was boasting that Marcus had had her 8 times, while his teammates were calling me a worthless piece of trash. Yet, just moments before, he had held me, promising to take care of me for a lifetime. My nails dug into my palm, and drops of blood fell onto the medication bottle. For 7 years, I'd been his mercenary, taken knives for him, and lost my fingers. In his eyes, I was evidently worth less than Chloe's black stockings. Marcus kissed Chloe fiercely. "You're a true siren, going to be the death of me." Chloe glanced at me, deliberately lifting her pale neck to display the hickey marks on it. She writhed with even more fervor. "Marcus, you're absolutely amazing. You had me 8 times today, can we keep going later?" Marcus's expression turned cold. "You can get out now, she's coming." I stood in the shadows of the doorway, letting the medication bottle dig painfully into my palm. Only after their heated session ended did I step inside. Marcus saw me and hastily adjusted his clothes. Afraid I'd noticed something amiss, he pulled me into a tight embrace. Kissing my forehead. "Sweetheart, when did you get here? Why didn't you call me to pick you up? I haven't seen you in so many days. I've been going crazy thinking about you. I just arrived. I didn't want to disturb you. Thought you might be busy." His words just now were like a bucket of ice water, extinguishing all the warmth in me. All the efforts I'd made up to that moment felt like a joke. The teammate across from me pushed a box of unused contraceptives towards me, with a lewd grin. "Grace, shouldn't you help Captain recover properly? Captain said you often help him unwind after missions." My blood ran cold, utterly humiliated beyond words. So this was how Marcus talked about me to his team. Seeing that I didn't move for a long time, they grew impatient. "Come on. Stop playing innocent." The voice cut off abruptly. Marcus kicked the lead teammate to the ground. "Damn you, stop slandering me. Show some respect for your Grace. Every one of you, go apologize." I looked at him, and for some reason, all my unspoken questions condensed into a single sentence. "It's fine, I don't care." Even he didn't care anymore. Marcus would get anxious if I wasn't happy. "It's not good for you to be angry. How about I sing to you?" Marcus sang love songs to me for 2 hours, until his voice was hoarse. After the last song ended, the lights in the private lounge suddenly extinguished, and only a single spotlight shone on me. Marcus dropped to one knee, pulled out a ring, and proposed to me. My heart gave a sudden lurch. I had waited 7 years for this ring. He was finally willing to marry me. Marcus carefully took my hand, but after seeing it clearly, his breath hitched. He had forgotten that I had lost a finger. He had been held captive by enemies, and to save him, I had cut off my own ring finger. I forced a bitter smile and pulled my hand away, but he held on tightly, lowered his head, and reverently kissed my maimed hand. Guilt and remorse were etched all over his face. Even his voice was trembling. "I'm sorry, sweetheart. I failed to protect you. From now on, I'll protect you with my life, and never let you get hurt again. Just one more mission, then we'll get married, all right?" The dream I had longed for day and night had finally come true, but I couldn't feel happy. I just gazed blankly out the window, forcing myself to change the subject. "It's raining outside. Can you take me home later? Even if you didn't ask, I'd still take you. I promise to take care of you forever." Marcus's voice always had a way of turning ordinary words into sacred vows. It made me drown in them, unable to discern truth from lies. The next second, his phone vibrated. The screen in the dark glared brightly. "Marcus, will you come see me later? I specifically changed into your favorite black stockings. I also took some pills to enhance your pleasure, guaranteed to drive you wild." A fine sweat broke out on Marcus's forehead. He was aroused. He hastily put away his phone. Even his breathing was hurried. "Sweetheart, the boss needs me. How about I have them take you home later?" His previous promise vanished without a trace. I smiled faintly. "It's all right. Go do what you need to." After the banquet ended, before I could even speak, the teammates scurried away like the plague. "Want to be our Grace? Give up that idea now. You're just Captain's dog. A cheap thing that would give him everything with just a snap of his fingers." I had no desire to retaliate. I only heard Marcus's voice, breathing heavily, commanding him with domineering fervor through my radio communicator. "Put on this ring. Touch me. Imitate her voice. Say my name." Rain fell on my face, and for a moment, I couldn't tell if it was rain or tears. Only when Captain sent a message did I come back to my senses. "Everything's been arranged. Remember to submit the application form." I repeatedly told myself. Just 3 more days, and I could leave him. The hotel was in a remote location, and I couldn't get a cab. By the time I got home, I was soaked to the bone. I hadn't expected Marcus to have already arrived home before me. He had showered and even changed into a collared shirt, as if to hide something. Seeing me soaking wet, he panicked. "Sweetheart, what happened to you? Why are you all wet?" "I told Chris to take you home." Chris took me home. The car couldn't drive into the yard, so getting wet was normal. Marcus didn't press the issue. Afraid I'd catch a cold if he delayed, he quickly ran a hot bath and carried me to it. He had a habit. He would always wait outside the bathroom door, ready for my instructions, because he was afraid I might slip and get hurt while showering. After my bath, he even made me some ginger tea. All his first experiences in life were about me. His first time cooking, his first time doing laundry, even his first time on a mission where he was willing to give up his life to protect me. I never doubted his sincerity, but sincerity was ever changing. Now, with all his kindness towards me, I only felt a heavy burden. From the moment I got home until I went to sleep, Marcus never let my feet touch the ground. Sleeping in clothes isn't comfortable. "Do you want me to help you take them off?" He reached out to help me, but I shifted my body to avoid him. "It's fine. I'm used to it." He never tolerated defiance. Yet for me, he was willing to be patient. "I'm your husband. What part of you haven't I seen?" Marcus especially liked my back. He found it smooth, delicate, and pleasing to the eye, but he didn't know that to earn money for his medication, I had rushed to take the most dangerous Class S missions. My once flawless back was now covered in knife scars and bullet holes. There was no unmarred skin, only a horrifying sight. I didn't want him to know, so I pressed my lips together and said nothing. His face darkened, and his tone turned sharp. "You weren't like this before. What? Is there something you're hiding on your back that you can't show me?" "Grace, I'm warning you. You can only have me. Don't try anything behind my back." That night, I woke up from a nightmare to find the bed empty. A woman's intimate moans came from the darkness. "Marcus, I've noticed the angrier you get, the more aroused you become." Marcus kept his voice low. "Shut up. If you wake her up, I'll kill you. If she wasn't sick and I couldn't bear to touch her, you wouldn't even be here. I told you long ago. I only love Grace." Chloe then deliberately imitated my voice and asked him, "Today, outside the private lounge, I heard you say you were going to marry her. Is that true? When are you planning to?" Marcus's breathing grew heavier. Before the words soon were fully out, he let out a cold snort. "I'll marry her. Definitely. As for when, that'll be when I'm done playing around." The night amplified the intimate sounds between them to their limit, echoing in my ears repeatedly. I frantically covered my ears with a pillow, telling myself not to listen. Tears soaked a large patch of the pillow, and my heart ached so much I could barely breathe. I didn't sleep a wink all night. When returned, he slept exceptionally peacefully. I woke up the next morning to a message from Chloe. "Marcus bought me new clothes. Don't you think they're pretty? He had me 7 times last night. You truly have no appeal to him. You're practically stifling him. No wonder. He even said you disgust him." The pink nightgown in the attached picture pierced my eyes like daggers. It was a birthday gift from Marcus. He liked pink, but I didn't. He had tried to persuade me repeatedly to wear it, but I always refused. I never imagined I'd just turned around and given it to Chloe. My birthday gift had become a prop for their pleasure, pathetic and laughable. A searing hand forcibly opened my palm beside me, interlacing his fingers with mine. I turned my head and met Marcus's gaze. His eyes were red-rimmed, as if feeling wronged. Honestly, I was finding him harder and harder to read. "I woke up and found I wasn't holding your hand. I thought it made you angry yesterday, and you didn't want me anymore." A bitter pang went through me, and I forced a faint smile. "Of course not. That's good. I knew you'd never leave me." Marcus noticed my eyes, and his expression immediately tightened. "What's wrong? Why are your eyes so swollen?" "It's nothing. I had a nightmare last night, and it scared me so much I cried." Marcus gently rested my head on his shoulder. His smile was doting. "You're still so timid. It's always like this. A single tear can scare me half to death, and a mere pout can keep me on edge all day. It's all right. Because I love you. I worry about you." I saw the red mark on his neck that he hadn't managed to hide and asked, knowing the answer, "How did you get this red mark here?" Marcus froze for a few seconds, then quickly recovered. His lying skills were already perfected. He spoke without a hint of guilt. "A mosquito bite last night. When you're on missions, make sure you take proper mosquito precautions. I don't want you to be uncomfortable. Are you hungry? I'll cook you some noodles. while was cooking noodles. I took out my laptop to fill out the application form for the support mission in Africa. For the duration column of the application, I wrote permanent. I wanted to never see him again. Not ever. What are you doing? So serious. Let me see. Marcus's voice came from behind me. I turned the laptop towards him. I'm writing a mission debriefing report. Do you want to write it too? If you're tired, I can do it for you. Eat first. Don't starve. Marcus had put chili peppers in the noodles. I'm allergic to chili peppers, but Chloe loved them. Love is found in the smallest details. If truly loved me, how could he have been with me for 7 years and still not remember that? His love for me was his greatest performance. Marcus was afraid I'd burn myself, so he blew on each spoonful of noodles to cool it before feeding it to me. After just 2 bites, his movements grew agitated, and his Adam's apple bobbed rapidly. I knew Chloe was looking for him again. I took the bowl, my voice calm. Someone at the compound needs you, don't they? I can eat by myself. You can go do what you need to, given permission. He seemed relieved. He dropped the bowl and rushed out. Before leaving, he secretly took my lingerie. Afraid I'd be angry, he told me, once I finish this busy period, I'll spend quality time with you. Not long after Marcus left, I was gripped by agonizing stomach pain. I curled into a ball, cold sweat pouring from me. In my tormented struggle, my phone dropped to the ground. Reaching to pick it up, I accidentally touched a dark web link from a medical team colleague. Familiar gasping sounds came from inside. My mind went blank. The 2 people on the screen didn't show their faces. Their bodies were entwined, inseparable. Isn't this more exciting than having an affair? Don't I understand you better than your wife? Chloe used a voice changer. The grass is always greener on the other side. The one who isn't loved is the actual mistress. Marcus's happiness was a dagger plunged into my heart. It hurt so much I could barely breathe. After successfully submitting the application form, I threw away everything in the house that belonged to me. The next morning, Marcus only remembered me. Sweetheart, an urgent mission came down from above. As a squad leader, I'm leading this mission. While I'm gone, you need to take care of yourself. I hesitated for a moment, Marcus. Actually, this mission. I also, Marcus. Thank you so much. If you hadn't pleaded with the boss, I wouldn't even be qualified to participate in the mission. A clear moi sound diverted Marcus's attention. He started giving me dismissive replies. I wisely hung up the phone. If he didn't know, he didn't know. It didn't matter anymore anyway. For this mission, I couldn't reveal my identity. I could only provide covert support to Marcus. Marcus was experienced and quickly found the best sniper position near the hideout. Everything was ready, but I grew increasingly uneasy. Boom and explosion sounded from above, and the building shook violently. We're compromised. Get out! A massive rock fell towards Marcus. Without thinking, I rushed over and shoved him aside. Before I could dodge, the massive rock crashed down on me. Every bone in my body shattered. Even breathing became difficult. Marcus scrambled to his feet. Not even glancing at me, completely disregarding his own injuries, he rushed towards Chloe, who was not far away. He took her hand, about to pull her to safety. Marcus, save me. My voice, processed by the voice changer, was even weaker, but heard it. He stopped, Captain. I think I just saw Grace where. Marcus's voice rose several octaves in his tension. My consciousness was fading, but I fought desperately to stay awake. Finally, Marcus turned back. He walked towards me, but Chloe burst into tears. Constantly pulling Marcus's hand back, she drew his attention again. Marcus, I'm so scared. I don't want to die here. Only one squad is on this mission. A team medic like Grace couldn't possibly be here. Chris must have been mistaken. The building was crumbling, and Chris also panicked. Yes. Captain, the building's collapsing. Let's go. Marcus was the team's explosives expert. He knew how much longer the building would take to collapse. Given the power of the explosion, he remained unmoving. Pulling off my mask, he saw my disguised face. He sighed in disappointment. What a shame. You're not her. The smoke was mixed with white powder, which made me lose my voice instantly. Still unwilling to give up, my hand, trapped beneath the rock, struggled to grab Marcus's leg. Chloe suddenly shrieked. Marcus, I've never seen her before. Could she be an enemy mole? She must have leaked our position. The sound cut off abruptly. Marcus shot through my hand. Dying here is your fate. You shouldn't have saved me. I closed my eyes in despair. I pressed the remote detonator in my hand, detonating all the bombs beneath the building. Finding a way to die was my second objective for this mission. The life I owed him was finally repaid. After the mission ended, everyone was celebrating 0 casualties. Marcus also couldn't wait to vent his desires with Chloe. Just then, the compound's broadcast system blared. ID 03-7. Grace has no vital signs, confirmed dead. Now playing her fatal injury replay. Bang! Marcus fired a shot directly at the broadcast speaker. The screen, which was about to replay the fatal injury video, suddenly went black. He lowered his head, his fists clenched tight, his fingernails digging into his flesh. His voice was frighteningly grim. What did it just say? Who died? One of his teammates, clueless to the situation, responded with a gleeful smirk. Yes, Grace is dead, Captain. You finally don't have to flatter that dead woman anymore, even if you sleep with hundreds, thousands of women later. No one can control you anymore. It's a cause for celebration. Hearing this, Chloe smirked triumphantly. Clinging to Marcus's arm, she cooed, "Does that mean I can finally be your bride? Marcus, when are you planning to marry me?" Marcus, silent for a moment, suddenly scoffed. He ruthlessly flung Chloe aside. Then, he punched the gleeful teammate into the wall. He lifted him up by his collar. "Who gave you permission to insult her like that?" "I'll say it again. Grace isn't dead. She cannot die without my order. If she dies, you all will pay with your lives." It was a warning, yet it also sounded like a mumbled whisper. How could she be dead? She was just talking to me on the phone before the mission, wasn't she? It must be the compound's life monitoring system malfunctioning. It must be. It absolutely must be. My must still be waiting for me to come home. I need to go home and find her. Marcus's eyes were bloodshot as he shoved aside everyone in his path. My misses me. I need to go back and be with her. All the teammates stood frozen. They suddenly couldn't understand. Captain, who always acted as if Grace meant nothing to him in front of them, had turned into this. Chloe scrambled to her feet and rushed to hug Marcus. "Marcus, Grace is dead. It's true. No one will ever bother us again. You don't have to pretend anymore. Let me make you feel good, all right?" "All right." The next second, Chloe's screams echoed through the entire compound hall. Marcus had snapped her wrist clean off. Marcus's face darkened further. "I'll say it again. Grace isn't dead. I left her alone for too long. She's angry and testing me. And you vile woman, it's all your fault. If you hadn't seduced me, how would I not have time for her?" Marcus drove the car at 350 miles per hour, racing home to find me. He searched every corner of the house, every place I might hide during hide and seek. He didn't find me anywhere. The tall, burly man now stood helplessly in the living room, like a lost child. He suddenly realized something was missing from the house, me, and everything related to me. Marcus racked his brain but couldn't figure out when these things had disappeared. In his tormented struggle, he bumped into the corner of a table. A piece of paper fell in front of him. The words "miscarriage report" pierced Marcus's eyes. He desperately wanted to know why I had been pregnant, and why I had a miscarriage out of nowhere. After he retrieved the surveillance footage frame by frame from the past 7 years, he couldn't bear to watch. I had tried to tell him countless times, but he only focused on being intimate with other women and found every excuse to brush me off. When I fell down the stairs and tried to call him for help, his phone was even turned off. I went to the hospital alone for a DC procedure. Afraid aged worry, I even wiped away the bloodstains on the floor. Marcus, the coldest and most ruthless mercenary in the mercenary unit, collapsed helplessly for the first time. He was filled with regret and despair. He even hated himself. Why he hadn't had the patience to let me finish talking, and had even turned off his phone because he found me annoying. Now, he called me over and over again. "Sweetheart, it's my fault. I shouldn't have made you wait for me at home for so long. Please don't be angry, okay? I miss you so much. Will you come back and be with me? I won't go anywhere else. I just want to stay by your side. You like children. When you come back, can we have a baby? Please, don't leave me." All went unanswered. The boomerang he threw over 7 years finally struck his own heart. My communication device had long been lost in the rubble, and that was far from the only surprise I had prepared for Marcus. The compound's broadcast system was soon repaired. After the screen reconnected, my fatal injury replay appeared on the large screen. This was a tradition of the mercenary unit. The life monitoring system on each mercenary's wrist would record a replay of their fatal injury before death. The purpose was to allow everyone to learn from it. My fatal injury replay looped endlessly on the compound's large screen, piercing Marcus's nerves over and over. I saved his life with my own. In front of him, I made countless struggles and pleas for help, but he ignored them all, in the end. He even shot me himself. Disbelief, rage, remorse, and finally despair were all clearly displayed on Marcus's face. He broke down, screaming, "No, that can't be my sweetheart. I would never fail to recognize my sweetheart. She's just a team medic. The boss would never allow a mere team medic like her to participate in this mission. This video is fake. Someone deliberately fabricated it to separate me and sweetheart." He began to fire wildly and indiscriminately. He wanted to kill anyone he saw. At that time, when I reached out to grab his leg, I wanted him to see the red mole on my wrist. Marcus loved to kiss that red mole when he was passionate. He saw it, but he remained indifferent, perhaps having innumerable female companions over these 7 years. All those fleeting encounters had blurred his vision. Among countless bodies, he couldn't recognize which one was mine. In 7 years of our relationship, I was the only one stubbornly clinging to my delusion. I obsessively hoped that Marcus would become a changed man for me, but rotten was rotten, and love that came too late was cheaper than dirt. Marcus slapped himself madly. His entire face was swollen beyond recognition when he suddenly pulled out a dagger from his pocket. He hacked off the hand that had held the gun and killed me. He stared blankly as blood gushed from his wrist. "Sweetheart, wait for me a little longer. I'll be with you in a moment." The teammates present were too terrified to speak. In that moment, they suddenly understood. Marcus, who always claimed he didn't love Grace in front of them, was nothing but a tough-talking liar. When woke up in the medical team's recovery room, the team medic angrily tossed a notebook at his head. "Grace's diary. Take a good look. I truly don't understand why such a good girl would cling to someone like you. You had amnesia, and she, a team medic, changed professions to become a mercenary, unafraid of death, almost lost her life, and still believed that as long as you were okay, she wouldn't care if she died." The current Marcus had no temper left. He sat motionless on the bed, his voice trembling as he asked, "You mean she became a mercenary for me? But why did she never tell me any of this?" The team medic snorted coldly, indignant on my behalf. "Tell you? What good would telling you do? You didn't even remember her. How do you expect her to tell you? These are her last possessions. Take a good look. Only remained in the empty hospital room." Marcus said he didn't remember me. "But it's okay. I would keep waiting for him. I've waited 7 years for him, and even if he wanted me to wait a lifetime, I would. I got injured on a mission today. It hurts so much." Marcus was injured much worse than me on missions before. He must have been in so much pain. I wish I could share his pain. Marcus lied to me for 7 years. He wasn't suffering from amnesia at all, and he had been seeing many women behind my back. In that instant, I suddenly didn't want him anymore. She knew everything. I was lying about the amnesia. So why was she still so good to me, without even questioning me? He bit his lip tightly, and tears blurred my handwriting. "Already crying?" Ben pushed the door open, his tone mocking. "The rumored killing machine of the mercenary unit is nothing more than this, compared to what's in Grace's diary. I think you might prefer these." Hundreds of thick medical records detailed the injuries I suffered for him over these 7 years. Every single one was a fatal injury. Marcus frantically flipped through the medical records, word by word, each word a stab to his heart, each sentence a death knell. By the last page, only despair remained in his eyes. His gaze lingered on the last line, unable to tear it away for a long time. It was a scar that had ruined his pleasure countless times during intimacy. Grace has a hideous scar on her waist. Every time I saw it, it made me want to vomit, but what could I do? I still wanted to sleep with her, so I just endured it. I had to pretend to comfort her, telling her it wasn't ugly, and even had to kiss it now and then. I'd wake up from nightmares at night. He had complained about this to his teammates countless times. Now, those complaints were like daggers, stabbing fiercely into his heart. It made him wish for death. She never explained the reason for this scar to me. It wasn't that I hadn't tried to explain. It was just that he disguised himself so well that I believed he could accept all my imperfections. Marcus weakly looked up at Ben. His voice was frighteningly hoarse. "None of this is real, right?" Ben chuckled, then slapped Marcus across the face. "I'm afraid to tell you, all of this is real. My most promising student was turned into this terrible state because of you. Now she's dead, and her body was never found. Marcus, my greatest regret in life is allowing my student to assist you on this mission." Marcus went rigid, his pupils dilated. So she really did participate in this mission. Impossible, absolutely impossible. No sooner had he spoken than Marcus rushed out, without bothering to put on his shoes. He ran to the ruined building and dug frantically with his bare hands. His feet were bloody and mangled, and his palms were impaled by rebar countless times. Still undeterred, he searched like a madman. "Sweetheart, wait for me, I'll find you in a moment. Can I take you home?" He couldn't find me. I had planted 100 bombs beneath the building, enough so that not a trace of my body would remain. The moment he saw shreds of my clothing deep within the rubble, a flicker of light suddenly ignited in his hollow eyes. He held a detector and carefully collected my ashes piece by piece into a box. Bringing them home, everyone said Marcus was insane. He ate and slept holding Grace's ashes every day, refusing to let go for anything. Some teammates even saw him eat the ashes. His eyes held a bottomless madness. "This way, my sweetheart and I can be together forever." That night, Chloe walked to Marcus's bedside. She wore a black stocking set, trying to entice him. "Marcus, I know Grace's departure makes you sad. Anything she could do for you, I can too. Can warm you up, all right?" Marcus grabbed Chloe's throat and lifted her into the air. His voice was like a vengeful demon from hell. "All right, it's time to settle some scores with you." Chloe's face turned ashen. "Marcus, what do you mean? Settle scores with me? I don't know anything. Grace's death has nothing to do with me. If anyone killed her, wasn't it she who was hit by the rock while saving you? Wasn't it you who shot her yourself?" Marcus's fingers tightened, wanting to choke Chloe to death. "Nothing to do with you? Then what about the white powder I extracted from the rubble? How could I have something like that? Marcus, believe me." Chloe was violently thrown to the ground by Marcus. Marcus pulled out a knife and slowly began to carve into her face. Grace used a disguise and a voice changer. In that emergency, I genuinely didn't have time to recognize her, but she had every opportunity to explain to me, "It's because you used this powder that rendered her speechless. The medical team's surveillance footage clearly showed you stole the medication." Chloe's face was chalk white. Everyone in the mercenary unit knew that besides being a killing machine, Marcus was also a living devil in interrogation. Dying quickly was a challenge in his hands. Chloe admitted it. Marcus remained unsatisfied and tortured her for 5 hours. Chloe's flesh was mangled and rotten, hanging off her skeletal frame, like a corpse, the moment Marcus finally decided to kill her. Chloe spoke with her faintest breath. "Marcus, let me go. I'll tell you where Grace went." The screen went dark. I tossed my portable surveillance device, its battery dead, into the trash. Whether lived or died was no longer my concern. My injuries had almost healed, and it was time for me to start my new life. Medical conditions in Africa were primitive, so I returned to my old profession as a team medic. I had thought life would continue peacefully and uneventfully, until I opened my door one morning and found Marcus kneeling at the entrance. He looked even more desolate than he had in the surveillance footage. When he saw me, a flicker of light suddenly ignited in his dull eyes. "Sweetheart, it's wonderful, you're alive. I've come to take you home. Will you come home with me?" He eagerly pulled out a ring and a wedding dress, holding them out to me with both hands. "Look, this is the new ring I had custom made for you, and the wedding dress. I brought them both. Marry me, if you like it here. I can abandon everything and stay with you. As long as you're happy and can forgive me, you can do anything to me you want." I only found it laughable. "What's the point of all this now, Marcus? You release me, and I'll release you. That's the best outcome for both of us. If you like kneeling, suit yourself. I only have one request. Just don't bother me." Further words were useless. I walked straight past him and left. Marcus didn't dare to get up, as he hadn't received my forgiveness. He crawled on his knees, clinging to my car door. I pressed the accelerator, flinging him off directly. Marcus, sprawled on the ground, looked utterly wretched, just like I had been when crushed beneath the rock. The word had spread throughout the branch office. "Did you hear? Marcus, the strongest man at headquarters, came to our branch. I heard it's to chase a woman. The boss wouldn't let him come, so he threatened to die. He even sold himself to the Falcons and took poison, afraid the boss wouldn't agree to him coming." Marcus worked for the Falcons, but he detested the place, especially the Falcons' special poison. Once consumed, an antidote had to be taken regularly, otherwise, one would suffer agonizing torment. Marcus was truly insane, afraid he'd come looking for me in a fit of madness again. I had the front door securely locked and used a secret passage to enter and exit, but then, late at night, he climbed over the balcony and got into my house. A 12-story building. And he just climbed up. He knelt by my bed, pleading like a dog. Sweetheart, I'm so cold. Can you hold me? Get out. My voice was utterly devoid of warmth. I know you think I'm dirty, so I washed myself clean before coming to see you. Marcus's arms had no skin, only mangled flesh. I fought back the nausea and snorted coldly. What a shame, every inch of you is still filthy. No sooner had I spoken than Marcus pulled out a knife. First, self-castration, then skin removal. He said he would carve every part of his body clean. After new flesh grew back, I wouldn't find him dirty anymore. Sweetheart, I'll do anything for you. Please show me some affection, all right? I only love you. I never cared for those other women. I was just playing with them. But with you, I'm serious. I was exhausted. I locked him in the room, leaving him to his own devices. Once quieted down, I called the medical team to take him away. After all, if he died here, it would cause me a lot of trouble. When woke up, he insisted it was my birthday and wanted to bake me a cake. No one in the medical team could stop him. They reluctantly came to me. I was even more helpless because it wasn't my birthday, so I had no choice but to take him to the psychiatry department. Marcus, this time, he really had lost his memory. His memories were stuck in the year he loved me most. I sent him to the psychiatric facility. Once inside, Marcus was extremely uncooperative. He knocked out over a dozen teammates by himself and escaped to find me. Just like before, he made a cake for me with his own hands. It had been a long time since I'd seen him like this. Marcus used to be completely clueless in the kitchen, only learning to cook specially after he knew I liked sweets. After making the cake, he busied himself with housework. In that moment, it was as if the Marcus who loved me back then had come alive again. Unfortunately, I was already dead inside. Sweetheart, I had a dream last night. In it, I was so terrible to you. You were so good to him, but he couldn't even control himself and pretended to have amnesia to deceive you. I would never treat you like that. I used to be quite a playboy, but ever since I met you, I've decided to clean up my act. You rescued me from my pain. You are my salvation. I truly wish I could kill him. I paused for a moment, then asked him with a smile, what if that him is actually you? Marcus froze, his gaze incredibly firm. How could it be me? First of all, I can't even fathom not loving you. So how could I ever hurt you? Don't worry. I will never hurt you. Before finishing his sentence, he paused for a moment. His attitude became extremely serious. If that day ever truly comes, you should kill me with your own hands. See, sometimes, people can't even empathize with their past selves. To prevent Marcus from climbing in through the balcony again, I installed several tightly sealed electric fences outside the security bars. After ensuring everything was foolproof, I fell asleep peacefully. When I woke up again, everything was pitch black. Suddenly, I was pushed to the ground and forcefully kicked several times. Old wounds reopened, and pain spread throughout my body. We've already sent a message to the Falcons. Only Marcus is allowed to come rescue her. Then we'll kill them both. That way, the Falcons will lose 2 of their top assets. Let's see how they dare to cross us after that. After the gruff male voice, a female voice responded cheerfully, Marcus will be taken back for the boss to deal with. As for this woman, leave her to me. I'll make her wish she were dead. I realized what was happening. Chloe, what exactly do you want? The burlap sack over my head was removed, revealing Chloe's skeletal face. Her face was contorted with malice, her eyes filled with nothing but intense hatred for me. What do I want? To kill you, of course. If it weren't for you, Marcus wouldn't have stopped loving me. He wouldn't have ruined me like this for your sake. Actually, I knew from the start that you were sent by the Falcons boss to secretly support Marcus. I deliberately kept quiet because I wanted him to kill you with his own hands. Even when the sniper point was bombed, it was because I had a locator on me and deliberately revealed its position. Did it ever occur to you that he didn't even love me? I asked, my tone light and calm. And what if he doesn't come to rescue me? What if he lets this pawn die here, then uses the compound's location to come and wipe you all out? This only made Chloe grit her teeth. She plunged a dagger into my shoulder. I don't believe you. If he didn't love you, why did he go insane after you faked your death and left? For every minute Marcus didn't arrive, Chloe stabbed me once. By the 7th stab, Marcus kicked the door open. Chloe backhanded the dagger to my throat. Perhaps they had heard stories of Marcus single-handedly taking down an entire hideout. Their attitude became exceptionally cautious. Chloe forced a pill into my mouth and made me swallow it. She threatened Marcus with my life, demanding he implant their control chip into the control terminal. I screamed, my voice hoarse, trying to stop him. yet remained indifferent. He did as he was told. Chloe, as promised, gave me the antidote. She laughed wildly, believing her grand plan was about to succeed. The next second, Marcus, seizing their inattention, shouldered through the two men holding him down to the floor. He picked up a gun from the ground. At the same time, I untied the ropes binding my hands and delivered an elbow strike to Chloe. I successfully pulled out the dagger and freed my feet. Marcus pulled the trigger. Standing in front of me, one more foolish move, and no one gets out alive. Chloe gritted her teeth. Marcus, it's useless even if you rescue her. You planned everything, but you didn't account for our chip being specially made, did you? In 10 minutes, it will completely fuse with your flesh and blood, and you'll never be able to escape our control. Want to remove it later? Dream on. Marcus said nothing, shooting Chloe in a vital spot. He took my hand and we fought our way out. 5 minutes left. He swapped his bulletproof vest with mine. 2 minutes left. He brought me to the rendezvous point. 1 minute left. He held my hand, asking me to kill him with my own hands. When all was said and done, while cleaning up, I found a crumpled letter in the trash can. It was in Marcus's handwriting. The contents had been repeatedly scribbled over. Grace, by the time you read this letter, I might no longer be by your side, of course. If you still can't bear to let me go, I can choose to stay. When I wrote this letter, my memory had already returned. I can't believe that I was the one who personally inflicted such harm upon you. You can't forgive me. And I certainly can't forgive myself, as of today. I no longer have the right to claim how much I love you. What I can offer you now is the freedom you desire. I want to give your world back to you, so you can truly be yourself. I crumpled the paper again and threw it back into the trash can. The past was truly in the past. The me of today was a new beginning.